Namaskar, myself Deepak Kumar Rath. I welcome you to the digital media of Uday India. Friends, today I am going to speak about Bhartiyata Ka Sankhnath, that is a regular episode that is going on in Uday India channel. Friends, today in India, there are many who are questioning our civilizational history and claiming that we have based our history on literary sources like Ramayana and Mahabharata. But we at Uday India are continuously striving to prove the fact that our ancient India was full of scientific knowledge. And the Western country came to know that. And I will tell you, they came to know that much later in history. One of our recent analysis proved how environmental concerns were at the core of our traditions and culture, and how they are corporate in our everyday life. By giving it a religious fervor and today's analysis, I will prove that how our ancient India was adept at surgical process, which even Western world didn't heard of till 18th century. And in this series, we will tell you about all the different scientific aspects of our ancient India and why we are proud of our history. Everybody should know that. Friends, you all must remember that our Prime Minister Narendra Modi caused a few eyebrows to be raised when he suggested in 2014 that in ancient India must have been skilled. Ancient India must have been skilled. In 2014, our Prime Minister had told. And in plastic surgery, how else Shiva would have grafted an elephant head on Ganesh? After having beheaded the boy, that was not all. Ancient India was also aware of genetic science. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi said at the inauguration of the Nita Ambani run, Sir H.N. Reliance Foundation Hospital and Research Center in Mumbai. To back up this assertion, Prime Minister noted that Karna of Mahabharata was born out of his mother's womb. By citing mythology as factual evidence of scientific progress, Narendra Modi seemed to be setting himself for ridicule. Newspapers in India and abroad didn't miss the opportunity to take sarcastic digs at the Prime Minister's statements. And as was to be expected, social media users joined in to criticize Modi. But today, we'll tell you how he was right in his assertions. And today we'll tell you how ancient India had mastered the science of surgery and was adept at doing even plastic surgeries. I must tell you that there is a lengthy history. There is a lengthy history of surgery in Ayurveda. And our researchers at the University of Missouri, Columbia found that 8,000 to 9,000 years ago, Doctors in ancient India developed the technology to drill teeth and remove cavities. A study of fossils from Mahagadh, which is now in Pakistan, that revealed that the male molars had teeny holes bored into them on the biting surface. Additionally, evidence from Harappa and Lothal dating back nearly 4,300 years, and that shows that a Bronze Age skull underwent ancient surgery. Trepanation, a popular form of surgery employed from the Stone Age onwards, included drilling or cutting through the skull vault, frequently to tilt head injuries or to remove bone splinters or blood clottings that brought on by a blow to the head. Susruta is thought to have lived in the 2nd century BCE, when the history of Indian surgery is said to have achieved its pinnacle. Susruta, who is generally regarded as the father of surgery in India, and he promoted a detailed investigation of anatomy through the dissection of cadavers or human corpses. To avoid sepsis following operations, he invented a method for sanitizing or sterilizing even surgical tools. Hundreds of sharp and blunt surgical implements, many of which resemble modern surgical tools, are described in the Susruta Compendium. Friends, Susruta is credited with creating novel surgical techniques such as rhinoplasty or nose reconstruction. Through plastic surgery, the use of a certain type of ant as a dissolvable suture to close the intestine, the surgical removal of cataracts, and the surgical management of urinary calculi or kidney stones in common man's language. When East India Company doctors Thomas Crusoe and James Findlay observed that Indian rhinoplasty treatments at the British Residency in Pune in 18th century, they discovered, or rather I would say, they rediscovered the Indian rhinoplasty technique. In the Gentleman's Magazine of London's, in the issue of October 1794 issue, the surgeons published images of the technique and its results for nasal restoration. The ancient idea of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that roughly translates to the whole world is one family, is responsible for how India developed into a distinctive community. Friends, this togetherness had sparked feelings of openness to the freedom of thought and expression. As a result of the contributions of the rishis like Brahmira, Aryabhata, Bhagavata, and Susruta, India was at the forefront of all the scientific advancements and breakthroughs in that era. In reality, because of the extensive real support given to science, scientific advancement and application in daily life, that became a normal occurrence in Indian civilization. And India climbed high and shone as the world's golden spur at a time when all the Western culture was in dark. A new era that might maintain India at the forefront of the global knowledge hub of centuries was sparked by the discovery of numerous scientific facts and the development of scientific concepts and technologies. The most important and indestructible wealth is knowledge. And an individual with a quest to acquire knowledge is believed to be truly on the path of enlightenment and liberation, and that is what we had and we lust, and now we aspire for. Friends, today I could able to describe few facts about Indian wisdom treatment, how it was going on in ancient India. And this is all for today. And for this set of out of box stories, and that based on fact stories, and the stories that will proud all of us, that it is available in Uday India. And that is why very knowingly, both in English and Hindi language, we have kept this episode as Bharatiyata ka Sankhnaad. Thanks all. That's all for today. Stay tuned with Uday India. Bharat Mata ki Jai.